Hello and welcome to Rosa Laura. If this is your first time visiting the channel, it's so lovely to meet you. And if you're returning, it's so wonderful to have you back. My name is Rosa, I'm a digital artist, and today I'm working on a commission. This commission is of a character named Kristina, and she is an Aasimar. There's a lot of pressure put on Kristina. She's supposed to be kind of like a devout of her goddess and is supposed to be marked for greatness. But the more of herself she gives away to her divine duty, the more inhuman she both feels and becomes. This is going to be represented in the commission by her two forms. Not to say that the forms are at odds with each other, but one is a lot more angelic, a lot more be not afraid, and the other is a more normal human form. My commissioner was really amazing in giving me lots of ideas to choose from and a lot of inspiration photos, both for the angelic look and for the armor. So as I went through this commission and worked on putting it together, I tried to draw my inspiration from multiple of these images and incorporating ideas that flowed through several of them. The idea of illumination, the eyes as an outline, the wings, covering the eyes with a wing, multiple sets of wings, the bands or circles around the head. There was a lot of really cool imagery in the inspiration that my client wanted to have incorporated. The challenge of this commission was getting a lot of those elements onto the canvas and balancing them against the whole of the work so that it didn't look too busy, while still communicating this sort of divine energy that Kristina was supposed to have, and making sure that her design was complicated enough that it really gave off this angelic, powerful feel to her. There were a couple of elements throughout the design that I really enjoyed, such as the armor. We don't have a segmented breastplate, but my client did want for there to be a bit of a dip to indicate where the chest was, so I did make sure to include that. And in my original pass on the armor, there weren't as many segmented pieces. My client said, hey, can we make this a little bit more complex? Can we have a little bit more, especially to the pauldrons? And I was like, absolutely. So I made that happen for them. The shield was really lovely to put together. They hadn't decided on a motif for Kristina's goddess. There wasn't a sort of guiding picture or symbol, so I proposed the idea of this four-pointed star as a sort of emblematic element because it's not really traditional. You don't see a lot of four-pointed stars. A lot of them are like usually five in the case of deities, or six for religious purposes. And I thought that the four-pointed star was a really interesting motif, and my client liked it because it intertwined with the idea of like light and guidance, the idea of a star. So it was really fun to put together the design for the shield for Kristina. The line work for this piece actually took a little bit longer than it usually does for me. I wanted to take my time and ensure that all the lines had varying thicknesses, that there was still a little bit of motion that was present in the piece itself, and that everything was like really attended to and taken care of. This is a 3/4 piece instead of something like a bust or a full body, and so something that I wanted to do was the suggestion of cloth down at the bottom, sort of a piece that would like hang down and cover the lower parts of the armor and of her body. And I actually was really happy with the way that that turned out when I sort of smooth out or blend the actual color, the white of that piece of cloth, into the background. Now, Kristina has a pretty neutral palette. When I started, especially, the gray and gold that I used for her armor was definitely more pale. I thought that it would match her color scheme. And the client actually asked me, hey, could you make that a little bit more saturated? I like a little bit more contrast. And I think in the end, it looks really nice. I also love the sort of traditional halo around the head. with the fill on the inside. I got that texture just by using one of my oil brushes. And I think that the texture and the shine on this piece really makes it stand out. That armor looking flat, it's a really nice look, but as soon as the shine really comes into play on it, it really changes everything. For the more angelic aspects of the design, such as the wings, the shield, and the sword coming out as the multiple limbs or extra limbs of the character, I wanted them to not look fully solid, but somewhat ethereal. In Clip Studio Paint, which is the program that I used, I got this by using it as an add glow layer. The wings are actually two overlay layers that are duplicated. When I changed it to add glow, it didn't quite get the same effect because of the contrast between the white and the black, but overlay gave it just the right interesting cast. The lighting, the glow, the detailing, I love the way that Kristina looks, both in her normal form and her angelic form. It was also a treat to do a commission that was largely done using the symmetry tool. It's not a usual thing for me, so it was a little bit of a treat and a little bit of a challenge as well to make sure that this character looked as good as could be. Thanks to my patrons who helped me make art, especially Banjo, Confocal Clips, Deator, and Fire Pit. You guys are amazing. And of course, thanks to you. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. There's something else on the screen if you'd like to check it out. And if you like what I do, you can support me on Patreon. And remember, it's all gonna be okay. See you next time.